When people talk about the environment and sustainability today, they usually mean no more than climate change and the world's use of fossil fuels. And yet, many people remain unconvinced that humanity is responsible for any global warming. They question whether we face imminent global disaster and wonder whether making considerable economic sacrifices would be any more effective in changing the fate of the planet than King Canute was at turning back the tide. The truth is, the challenge of the environment is so much greater. 250% more fish are being caught than the oceans can produce in a sustainable manner, and yet, as a result of the European Common Fisheries Policy, 40 to 60% of fish caught by trawlers in the North Sea is dumped back. Deforestation in the next 4 years alone will pump more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere than every flight in the history of aviation to at least 2025. And yet, thanks to carbon trading and the world's voracious appetite for fuel, countries are actually being encouraged to destroy the world's forests. At a time of unprecedented population growth, this poses a threat to worldwide food security, and the poor will inevitably be hit the hardest. So, as Christians, how should we respond?
We should care because God cares about the creation He made. If you look at just Genesis chapter 1, for instance, when the creation is described, 6 times God says it was good. And at the end He's made humans, He says He's looked at everything He'd made and it was very good. And the very first commandment He gave to humankind was to rule over and steward, if you like, His creation. So it's as if we are vice-regents on His behalf, if you like. We should care for this world in the way that He would care for it. And of course Jesus gives us a model of that as a shepherd pastor.
How should we exercise our responsibility well?
We will really only care for the environment well when we look at how a good God deals with His good creation. It's because humanity is grounded and dependent upon the environment that if we exploit the environment, it will go badly for us. So when humanity limits its take on the environment, that is in the best interest of both humanity and the environment.
Who do you think will suffer the most? And why should we invest in something destined to fail?
There's an awful lot in the Bible about caring for the earth and caring for the poor. And now, of course, we know that the problems for the poor of the world will be much greater than the problems for the rich. And droughts and floods and the problems of sea level rise will mean that many tens, hundreds of millions of people will get displaced from some of the world's poorest countries. So the challenge is enormous, and it's a Christian challenge, tremendous Christian challenge.
And how do we know it is all worth it in the end?
There is a Christian hope for the future with both Him and His creation. So that Christian hope for the future gives us real reason to work in this life now in the way that we will in for all eternity.